Ladies, if your house has stuff in it that actively judges you every single day, this video is your parole hearing. You ever walk past an object and immediately hear, "So, we're still pretending will use me?" That's not decor, that's emotional blackmail. Today, we are getting rid of 20 things secretly stressing you out. Not big dramatic things, tiny little stress goblins. The kind that whisper, "You should really become a better person someday." No, today we silence the goblins. Starting with number one, things outside the return window. Oh, these are evil, because now they're not products. They're expensive life lessons. You bought it 3 months ago. The tag is still on it. The receipt faded like an ancient treasure map. And every time you see it, your brain goes, "Maybe customer service will understand." No, they won't. Target isn't going to be like, "Wow, what courage. Here's your refund, queen." And why do we keep the bag too? The bag sits there like, "You almost made a responsible decision." Meanwhile, the item itself has become a decorative gilt sculpture. Get rid of it, donate it, sell it, release it into the wild. Your home should not look like a museum of delayed errands. Number two, recipes to try. Ladies, be honest. How many saved recipes do you have right now? Pinterest said, "Here's a 14-step lavender honey pistachio tart." And you said, "Yes, this is who I am now." Meanwhile, dinner tonight is tortilla chips over the sink. We save recipes like we're preparing for a cooking show nobody asked for. You have screenshots, Instagram saves, cookbooks, half a printed recipe with olive oil stains from 2017. And every recipe starts with "quick and easy." Then step one, harvest time from your garden. Girl, I barely answer texts. If you haven't made it by now, you are not making Tuscan salmon roll-ups with whipped feta clouds. Delete it. You don't need 900 fantasy recipes. You need 5 meals and emotional stability. Number three, magazines and design books. Nothing creates fake pressure faster than a perfect living room. You open the magazine and suddenly you hate your own house. Now your perfectly normal couch looks like it pays taxes late. These magazines convince us everyone else lives in a Scandinavian candle commercial. Nobody in those homes has a phone charger hanging out of a drawer. Nobody has the chair. You know the chair. Every woman has one chair that's holding 3 sweaters, a bra, a tote bag, and unresolved emotions. Design magazines are dangerous because they make you think, maybe I should repaint the kitchen at 11 p.m. after one organizing video. Now you're standing in Lowe's holding paint samples like, "Yes, I'd like my bathroom to feel like quiet thunder." Throw them out. Your house is allowed to look like people live there. Number four, coupons and sales flyers. Nothing costs you more money than saving money. A coupon has never entered a house peacefully. It arrives screaming, "Spend $200 to save $4. And suddenly you're buying vitamin gummies shaped like sea creatures because, well, technically it's a deal. No, a deal is not spending money you weren't going to spend. Stores really said, "Limited time only." Sir, yogurt has existed for centuries. Calm down. And sales flyers are chaos. They always look urgent, like lettuce is having a national emergency. Throw them away immediately. Do not let paper bully you into buying patio lanterns. Number five, clothes that are too small. This one hurts because we attach emotions to clothing. We keep jeans from 2009 like, "One day." Ma'am, those jeans survived 3 presidents and a global crisis. Let them rest. And why are tiny jeans always so mean? You hold them up and they look sarcastic, like, "Good luck, babe." If an outfit requires you to stop breathing, it is not fashion, it is architecture. Your closet should fit your current body, not your "maybe someday after I become a yoga person" body. Also, can we stop keeping gold dresses? Nothing ruins a morning faster than trying on optimism. You deserve clothes that fit now, not clothes waiting for a personality transformation. Number six, half-finished craft projects. Every woman has entered a craft phase with dangerous confidence. You bought supplies, Watched one tutorial, announced, I'm making candles now. No, you're not. Now there's a yarn in a basket silently accusing you. Half-painted pottery, embroidery kits, beads, a Cricut machine sitting there like a neglected spaceship. Craft stores are magical because they convince us we have patience. We do not. We have ambition and snacks. And somehow every project requires twine, Mod Podge, or emotional resilience. If the project has been untouched for 2 years, it's decor now. Release yourself. Number 7, old to-do lists. Nothing says human suffering like finding a to-do list from 2021, and somehow the same task is still on there, called dentist. Girl, at this point the dentist has moved on emotionally. Old to-do lists are archaeological evidence of burnout. You read one and realize past you thought she could start a side business, meal prep, deep clean, learn French, and drink more water, all on a Tuesday. Past you was delusional. And why do we keep lists with crossed out items? Like we're preserving history. Nobody's visiting your archives. Throw them into the we'll see bin, which is honestly just a prettier phrase for absolutely not. Number 8, duplicate cleaners. Why do we own 47 cleaning products? One for counters, one for granite, one for wood, one specifically for energy. At some point, your cleaning cabinet starts looking like a chemistry lab run by anxiety, and every bottle promises spring rain freshness. No, it doesn't. It smells like a lemon got into a fight. You do not need 6 half-empty sprays, especially the mystery cleaner with no label. That bottle could remove wallpaper or summon spirits. Simplify it. If cleaning your cleaners feels overwhelming, we have lost the plot. Number 9, unfinished home projects. Oh, these are loud. The loose cabinet handle, the paint sample square, the shelf leaning against the wall for 8 months. Every unfinished project whispers, you're behind in life. No, you're busy. Also, home improvement videos are lies. They're like, easy weekend project. Then 2 minutes later, they're rewiring electricity using a tool named after a bird. Suddenly, your living room looks like an active construction site hosted by regret. If you're not finishing it, hire it out, simplify it, or let the dream die. Not every woman needs to become a carpenter because she watched 2 episodes of HGTV. Number 10, mystery cords. Nobody knows what these belong to. Nobody. You could hold up a random cord and your entire family suddenly becomes detectives. Wait, don't throw that away. Why? What is it for? Silence. We keep cords because we fear consequences. What if one day a tiny forgotten device returns demanding power? And somehow every cord is tangled like it fought another cord overnight. You probably have a drawer that looks like electronic spaghetti. Half the cords don't even fit modern devices anymore. One end looks like it charges a fax machine. Let them go. If you haven't used it in years, that cord is retired. Number 11, things that need repair. This category is emotionally exhausting. The necklace clasp, the lamp, the chair with personality. Every broken item becomes another unpaid mental invoice. And we keep saying, I'll fix it. No, you'll move it from room to room for 6 years. Broken things create background stress because your brain keeps tracking them. It's like having 40 browser tabs open in your house. Either repair it this week or release it. Your home should not be a hospital for wounded furniture. Number 12, food you don't even like. Why are we storing punishment in the pantry? Nobody is forcing you to eat those dry crackers. You bought them because a wellness influencer said, these changed my life. Meanwhile, they tasted like seasoned drywall. And freezer guilt is real. You open the freezer and there's frozen spinach from another era entirely, and weird sauces, and emergency cauliflower rice nobody has ever wanted. If you don't like it, stop keeping it. Your kitchen is not a hostage situation. Number 13, makeup and beauty products you tried and hated. Every woman owns at least one lipstick that makes her look mysteriously unwell, and yet we keep it. Why? Maybe I'll use it someday. No, that foundation oxidizes into pumpkin soup 5 minutes after application. And beauty products multiply. You buy one serum and suddenly your bathroom looks like a luxury science experiment. Tiny bottles everywhere, dropper tops, creams with names like Moondew Glass Skin Elixir. Ma'am, I just want my pores to mind their business. Also, why are beauty products so expensive for something so disappointing? You spend $48 on a moisturizer and it smells like wealthy cucumbers. Throw out the products you hate. Life is short. Use the good lotion. Number 14, old planners and journals. These are emotional time capsules. You open one page and immediately remember exactly how stressed you were. And every planner starts strong. January, color-coded goals, stickers, motivation. By March, one sentence, a grocery list, and why am I like this? Old journals are wild too. You read them and you think, wow, I really survived entirely on caffeine and denial. Keep the meaningful ones. Release the guilt notebooks. You do not need evidence of every chaotic Tuesday. Number 15, too many shoes. Some shoes are not shoes, they are lies. If you can only wear them while sitting down, they're decorative. Heels especially. Women really said, yes, I would love to walk on two aggressive toothpicks. And uncomfortable shoes always betray you publicly. You start the event gracefully. 2 hours later, you're walking like a newborn deer. Also, why do we keep maybe someday shoes? Sequin boots, tiny sandals, shoes requiring confidence levels we no longer possess. Keep the ones that serve your life now. Your feet deserve peace. Number 16, unused kitchen appliances. The air fryer can stay. The weird egg gadget, jail. Every appliance promises transformation. This machine changes everything. Sir, it slices bananas differently. Relax. And bread makers especially. People buy bread makers during emotional seasons. 3 homemade loaves later, it becomes countertop furniture. Same with juicers. Nobody warns you that cleaning a juicer feels like detailing a car. If an appliance requires an instruction manual thicker than a novel, you don't need it. Your kitchen should not resemble a failed cooking competition. Number 17, extra mugs, water bottles, and tumblers. How? How do they multiply? You buy one emotional support tumbler and suddenly there are 19. Cabinets avalanche when opened, and every mug has a weird message. Don't talk to me until coffee. Okay, Brenda, we understand. Meanwhile, nobody uses the tiny mugs or the giant novelty cup requiring forearm strength. And water bottles become personal identities. This one keeps water cold for 48 hours. Wonderful. I still forgot to drink it. Choose your favorites, release the rest. Your cabinet should not sound like a bowling alley. Number 18, unused organizing products. This is peak irony. Bins to organize the bins. You bought acrylic containers thinking, this will change my life. Now they're stacked in a closet, creating fresh clutter. Organization products are dangerous because they make us think buying storage equals solving problems. No, now your junk is just categorized. Tiny labels everywhere, miscellaneous chaos. And don't even get me started on drawer dividers. 1 week later, the drawer still contains batteries, rubber bands, takeout sauce, and a single mysterious screw. You cannot contain or store your way into inner peace. Number 19, extra gift wrap. Why do we save microscopic scraps of wrapping paper? This piece could be useful. For what? Wrapping a grape? And gift bags reproduce faster than rabbits. Every closet has a pile of crinkled tissue paper nobody trusts. Also, bows become sentient. You open the bin and they attack. At some point, the gift wrap storage takes up more room than actual gifts. Keep a reasonable amount. You are not operating a holiday warehouse. And finally, number 20, old boxes. Ladies, the emotional support box has to go, especially electronics boxes. We keep them because, what if I need it someday? For what? A ceremonial return to Best Buy? And somehow the box survives longer than the actual product. You no longer own the blender, but the blender box, pristine. Also, giant boxes create dangerous optimism. This could be useful for storage. No. Now you're storing empty boxes inside empty boxes like a cardboard nesting doll. Break them down, recycle them, free yourself. Because here's the thing, Clutter is not just stuff, it's delayed decisions. It's a tiny, unfinished conversations with yourself. And every object in your home is either helping you or quietly draining your energy while you walk past it pretending not to notice. So, no, getting rid of these things will not magically fix your entire life, but it will make your home feel lighter, your brain quieter, and your mornings less like a scavenger hunt designed by stress. Also, you might finally find your scissors, which honestly, that's healing.